you jive turkeys, and welcome back to another episode of Curse Review. Today we're discussing what will likely become a holiday classic for many, Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. I actually caught a screening of this with a few friends this past Sunday night. I came into it with no preconceived notions, and it really hit me by surprise in the best way. I know Eli Roth best as the Bear Jew from Inglourious Basterds, as well as his 2005 movie, Hostel. So I knew there'd probably be some gore and a twisted sense of humor, which there definitely was. But what we have here is an iconic Turkey Day slasher for the ages. From its humble beginnings as a one-off trailer from the 2007 film Grindhouse, which is a double feature of Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof and Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror, it really elicited those schlocky Grindhouse vibes of old. And now we're finally getting a full-length answer to that trailer. Several of the other trailers from Grindhouse were made into full-length movies, such as Machete, so it's great to see that trend continuing from a movie that's 16 years old. In the town of Plymouth, Mass, it is Thanksgiving 2022, and a working-class gentleman is called into work the night before Black Friday by his boss and the owner of Rightmark. The crowd outside is bursting at the seams, trying to bum rush the guardrails and cursing at the security guards. The tension is palpable here and grows until it explodes into an incredible Black Friday massacre. Of course, there have to be repercussions for the bloodshed here at the Black Friday sale, and that bloodshed will come for the townspeople of Plymouth 1 year later in 2023. And that's where Thanksgiving takes off. A killer soon emerges and uses social media as well as some well-placed and well-staged gore amongst the town to threaten our gang of teens who snuck into the Rightmark on that fateful evening in 2022. Jessica, Bobby, Yulia, Scuba, and Evan soon find out that they're on the menu once severed heads and torsos show up in their Instagram feed. But the killer, donning a John Carver mask, cleverly referenced earlier in the film, proves that many more people are up for grabs as well. The John Carver mask itself works particularly well on screen, and the way the killer and their mask moves on screen is eerie and effective. And the rest of the plot doesn't really matter. There's the aforementioned group of teens, and then some adults who are all kind of shitty and self-involved, and Roth continues to do a great job of interweaving in new characters without overwhelming the audience. This works in the film's favor because the characters are often one note and sort of script specific in how they serve the plot. In fact, I really like this aspect of the movie because it really aided in that small town feel, and it's one of the movie's best qualities. I really enjoyed that sort of small town aspect of the movie because it makes the world feel very lived in. During my research for this video, I found, because I'm not from Boston, that there are plenty of regional references for folks who do live or have been to Massachusetts. Roth was actually born in Massachusetts, so you can tell the movie feels very personal to him. And you can see him smiling through every frame of this movie. There is so much love put into every single second of the movie. This is a straightforward slasher mixed with a whodunit, since the entire movie you're kind of trying to figure out who the person behind the mask is. Roth toys with the audience here in very exciting ways, creating red herring after red herring, keeping you constantly on your toes in between the gleeful and jubilant kill scenes. And boy, those scenes are absolutely jubilant. Not to mention all the Thanksgiving accoutrements referenced throughout the movie. And it really helps add this infectious sense of fun. Horror and comedy are often synonymous for me. Even the scariest of movies can sometimes elicit a laugh from me, either in the sheer terror of the images that are laid out on screen in front of me, or if the kills happen to just be comedic. You can tell that Roth has an equal respect for that kind of tone, which makes Thanksgiving not just a thrillingly scary movie, but as it ramps up the gore and kill scenes, a movie that's actually incredibly funny. It almost feels like a very, very dark Looney Tunes cartoon, but played out with human actors. The visual gags are out the wazoo in this thing, which I think works more in its favor of becoming a future holiday movie staple. The film is never really that scary. Its hilariousness is a serious virtue to be grateful for this season. The jump scares work pretty effectively and aren't overdone, but once it starts to sink in that this is just Eli Roth and co. having the time of their lives making a spin-off movie from a trailer from Grindhouse, you start to feel that infectious sensation of fun wash over you. I wondered a little bit if losing that Grindhouse grit and look from the 2007 movie might take you out of this experience a little bit and feel a little too realistic, but it doesn't. It works pretty well. That being said, I love to see an alternative cut of this with a little bit more grain and color grading on the film to make it feel a little bit more washed out and vintage. Given Roth's appreciation for horror, it'll definitely mean that the physical release of this movie will mean some awesome special features and extras that may have been cut out from the original movie. Now, before I gush about some of my favorite scenes, I'm gonna go ahead and put a spoiler warning here. I will be pretty sensitive. I'm not gonna go into the particulars, just letting you know before you move forward. The movie has great momentum, and you don't really feel the runtime until the third act, and I'll get into that a little bit later. The trampoline scene and the dinner table scene now live rent-free in my head as some of my favorite scenes in a slasher movie ever. Dare I say the dinner table scene rivals the one from the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Somewhere, Roth is grinning ear to ear knowing that somebody compared his movie to the iconic classic that is Texas Chainsaw. That being said, there's a lot of excellent kills in this movie, and there's other great ones that I didn't reference here. I just can't believe how fun this movie feels. The dialogue and accents may be a bit silly, and the writing and editing near the end of the movie kind of took me out of it for a little bit. But that being said, those gaps, which were probably caused by some last-minute edits, do make up some space for some potential sequels, which I do hope Roth considers making a handful more of these movies, or at least movies in this style. And even if the sequel is half as good as this movie was, it'll just be nice to be back in an era where horror can be grotesque, self-aware, and silly again. Thanksgiving also felt like an immediate answer to something I mentioned in my review for Friday the 13th Part 5. I discussed in that video that I longed for a modern-day grindhouse experience in theaters, and Thanksgiving is about as close of an answer to that I could have hoped for in 2023. I hope this means that A24 and other major studios take note of how successful a cheap slasher film can really be, and how much audiences even today continue to clamor for experiences like this. This movie was made on a $15 million budget, and it'll definitely make that money back in the first couple of weekends, or at least within a month or two. And given its popularity on social media already, I could see it going even past that, enough to get us Thanksgiving 2 greenlit immediately. Hopefully. I even plan to buy this one and have a digital copy so that I can continue to watch it every Thanksgiving for years to come. My short list of real gripes with the movie is mostly in the ending. The way that the killer is revealed feels slow and clunky and not really all that satisfying. The rest of the movie felt so fast-paced and slick, winking and intense, while the ending just kind of felt like, well, I guess we gotta wrap this up and end the movie somewhere, right? So let's just make the killer this guy and give him some kind of tragic backstory that would make sense for why he's doing all these killings. And that works, it's fine, but it felt a little lazy, felt a little cheap to me. I guess if I had it my way, I'd kind of prefer maybe they didn't unmask the killer in this movie. Maybe save it for the sequel, or just kind of leave him masked. It'd be cool, because then you could have so many different angles for where to take this movie. And I guess that's more so what's exciting, is that there's so much that could be left done with the way the movie ended. Even then, with the killer's never really dead stinger at the end, it doesn't hit as hard because, you know, we kind of know he's probably still out there, but it's not as fun for some reason. That was the only part of the movie that I was like, kind of rushed. Also, not enough Gina Gershon. We need more Gershon. But you have to keep in mind, even if you do blow a slasher to smithereens, chances are he will magically regenerate. Isn't that what cranberry sauce and turkey are supposed to do? They cause you to magically regenerate and get back together with your toxic family in order for mass mayhem, infighting, and violence to take place in your domiciles and homes. Most of the time, these family gatherings often end with something terrifying happening, right? Somebody ends up leaving in a fit and then there's beef. That's kind of what's funny about Thanksgiving, is a joyous holiday isn't really quite as joyous when you realize like where the foundations of that holiday came from. You can't celebrate it in the same way. So making a slasher movie for Thanksgiving holiday is really brilliant. Like, I have to give kudos to Roth. Like, this is such a cool move, and I can't wait to see what else he does. In conclusion, Thanksgiving is a lovingly made, gory, and delightful take on the slasher genre that is sure to become an iconic movie for the gluttonous holiday it shares its name with. Roth & Co.'s appreciation and love for the horror genre seeps through every single frame of this movie, and I absolutely cannot wait to watch it again. Thanksgiving also happens to be hilarious, packed with sight gags, self-aware references, and an instantly iconic mask and killer to boot. Walk, don't run to catch this one on the big screen, but please, please, please support movies like this that are in theaters. If you can't see it in theaters, buy it and watch it at home. We need to keep going to the movie theaters. We need movie theaters to stay open. I know it's scary. I know there's shooters. I know it's tough out there, but if you can go see a movie in person and you love the movies, go do it. We have to keep these places going. So until next time, horror fans, I hope you have a great holiday season, that you have stuffed yourself with all of the Thanksgiving accoutrements. Don't forget to lick those plates clean. And if you find that the family fire axe is missing from above the fireplace this Thanksgiving, well, get the fuck out of there and run for your lives. Peace out.
It's pretty weird without Jake here, right?
Jeff, Jake tried to kill me.
Well, why did you set a place for him then?
I mean, I still love him. The potatoes are ready.
Jake's favorite. He loved those potatoes.
He did.
Sad day without him here in the house.
Didn't they, like, give him the toots?
Severe.
Always take potatoes. It's weird without him, huh? So quiet.
I don't know what we're gonna do without him.
I guess we'll serve him some potatoes anyway, right? He'll get the crusty bits. He loved the crusty bits. Those are, like,
You're right.
toot central, you know? What was that? Oh, can you go get the turkey out of the oven, Jeff?
Yeah, definitely. I think I heard something. Jake?
I'm back, bitches, and I brought the cranberry sauce. I'm gonna carve you, bitch. I'm gonna carve you. Why are you even here on Thanksgiving? Jay's not your girlfriend.
You're the one getting jelly. Turkey.